The New START Treaty, a crucial pillar of global strategic stability, is set to expire in 2026. This agreement, which limits the number of deployed nuclear warheads for both the United States and Russia, has played a vital role in preventing a renewed arms race. However, with no current negotiations for its renewal or extension, the future of arms control and indeed global security hangs precariously in the balance. This uncertainty is further compounded by the increasingly strained dialogue between Russia and the West, particularly the United States and its NATO allies. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed deep skepticism regarding the sincerity of the West's commitment to strategic stability. He has pointed to NATO's eastward expansion and its military buildup along Russia's borders as evidence of hostile intentions. Adding to this mistrust, Putin has accused the US and its allies of seeking Russia's strategic defeat, even hinting at their desire for Russia's annihilation. These perceptions, whether accurate or not, are deeply held within the Russian leadership and have significantly hampered meaningful dialogue on arms control and other critical security issues. The lack of trust between Russia and the West is further exacerbated by differing narratives surrounding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. While the West views Russia's actions as an unprovoked act of aggression, Moscow sees them as a necessary response to NATO's encroachment and what it perceives as a Western-orchestrated coup in Ukraine in 2014. This fundamental disagreement over the nature of the conflict, coupled with the West's unwavering support for Ukraine, makes finding common ground on strategic stability exceedingly difficult. In the face of mounting pressure from the West, Russia has found a willing partner in China. Both nations have resisted calls from the US to reduce their nuclear arsenals and have deepened their strategic cooperation in response to what they perceive as Western attempts to contain their global influence. This burgeoning partnership has significant implications for the future of global stability, particularly in the realm of nuclear arms control. China's stance on nuclear disarmament is clear and consistent. It will only participate in multilateral arms control talks if the US and Russia reduce their nuclear arsenals to China's level. Alternatively, China has indicated a willingness to engage in such talks if the US and Russia agree to allow China to increase its arsenal to match theirs. This position, while seemingly uncompromising, reflects China's view that it should not be bound by agreements negotiated by countries with far larger nuclear arsenals. Putin has expressed understanding and even support for China's position, viewing it as a reasonable response to the current global security environment. This alignment between Russia and China presents a significant challenge to the traditional arms control framework, which has largely been dominated by the US and Russia since the Cold War. The emergence of this new power dynamic, where neither Russia nor China feels compelled to bow to Western pressure, adds another layer of complexity to an already challenging geopolitical landscape. Adding to Russia's security concerns is the increasing nuclear capabilities of NATO, particularly those of the UK and France. Both countries are actively modernizing and expanding their nuclear arsenals, both in terms of quantity and quality. This development, coupled with NATO's overall military buildup along Russia's borders, has further fueled Moscow's mistrust of the West and its intentions. Putin has repeatedly insisted that any future discussions on nuclear disarmament must include the nuclear arsenals of all NATO members, not just the United States. He argues that excluding the UK and France from such talks would create an imbalance and undermine the effectiveness of any agreement reached. This stance reflects Russia's view that NATO is not simply a political alliance but a military one, actively engaged in containing Russia's influence and posing a direct threat to its security. The West, however, has largely dismissed Russia's concerns about NATO's nuclear capabilities as unfounded. It argues that NATO's nuclear deterrent is purely defensive and designed to protect its members from aggression, not to threaten Russia. This divergence in perspectives highlights the deep chasm in trust and understanding that currently exists between Russia and the West, making meaningful dialogue on arms control and strategic stability all the more difficult.